This is 5.2 properties of parabolas. So there are a few things that we need to know. And the first thing is the standard form of a parabola, which is the quadratic equation. And that's displayed here, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, next we need to know whether the parabola is going to face up or face down, and we determine that by the value of a. So when a is greater than 0, the parabola faces up. When the parabola is less than 0, it faces. And when a is less than 0, the parabola faces down. We also know that to find the y-intercept, we take 0, c, c, and c. And then to find the vertex, we use the equation negative b over 2 times a. Okay, so this is going to be our example problem, y equals 2x squared plus 4x plus 2. And if you noticed, I just color-coded this to make it easier for you to see from the original quadratic equation. Okay, so taking our formula, we're going to plug in our values. So over here it says this is a, this is b, this is c. We're negating b. We're taking a 2 and we're multiplying it by a, which is also a 2. And then we're solving. So you take the negative 4, 2 times 2 is 4, which is equivalent to a negative 1. And that is the x part of your vertex. To find the y, that's your x part of the vertex. And then you also know that the x part of your vertex is also your axis of symmetry. Just right here, which is what it was. I just wrote it in a shorter way. So axis of symmetry. So your axis of symmetry is also negative 1. And we'll graph that a little later. So to find the y portion of the vertex, you're going to plug in your x, which is, we just got negative 1, into the x part of the equation. Okay, so let's do that. Y equals 2 times a negative 1 squared plus 4 times a negative 1 plus 2. So negative 1 squared is the same thing as 1. And a 2 multiplied by 1 is also a 2. 4 times a negative 1 is a negative 4. And we add 2. 2 minus 4 is a negative 2. Sorry, I'm going to write it over here. Negative 2 plus 2 equals 0. And that's my y part of the vertex. So I have negative 1, 0 as my vertex. The y-intercept is the same thing as 0c. So 0, 2, c is 2. And our axis of symmetry is negative 1. So let's graph that. So we have our vertex, which is negative 1, 0. Negative 1, 0. That's our vertex. I'm going to label it B. Our y-intercept, which is 0, c, or 0, 2. And we know that our axis of symmetry is negative 1, which is a straight line. And if we reflect back to our axis of symmetry, let's do a cute heart here. I know that's not perfectly symmetric, but if you draw a line down the middle, both sides should look the same, are exactly the same because they're symmetric. So this point right here is 2 away from the axis of symmetry. I'm sorry, I didn't write this. 0, 2. So then we need to also go 2 away in the opposite direction. So 1, 2. This is 3, 2. Negative 3, 2, I'm sorry. And then we're gonna graph it. And that is our parabola. Our value of A was greater than 1. So that's how we know that our parabola here was facing up. And that's it.